Hi, my name is Jacob Kirchin, and I'm an International Sales Specialist here at Hightest Technology. Today we're going to be going over the TURA-01, one of our more popular devices. It is our transformer turn ratio tester, and it can perform single-phase and three-phase turn ratio tests. First, we're going to go over the test settings. Here you can see we can set the priority to either tab or phase, the quick for the voltage to 1, 4, 10, 40, or 100. We'll keep it as 40. And the test frequency from 50 or 60. Here, we can set the templates. I already have one created. However, you can create a new one, you can name it, and you can configure it from there so that when you perform a quick test, it goes off of this test settings that we just set. Other than that, we have our comparator, which we can use for the pass-fail criteria to indicate whether our tests passed based on the percentage we set here. We can set it to 0.5 to 1% or something like 10%. Now we're going to skip over the auto tap changer and TPA settings because we do not have a TPA connected, as you can see here. To perform a test of any sort for this machine, please click Ratio Test. Here you can perform a single-phase, three-phase, magnetic balance test, or a quick test, which we just talked about from the settings. Here we're going to perform a single-phase. Here you can see our transformer, which we are going to use for the purposes of this demonstration. Okay. Perfect. Here you can set the primary, right? We already set ours to 232 based on our transformer. The secondary, which we set to 1. The voltage, we set to 40. And you can remove the label to wipe this, but once you are done with this, click Test. It is performing the test. Once it is done, you will see all the results on the screen. Based on our fail ratio of 10%, we passed, given that it was negative 5.49%. You can see the phase, ratio, the current for the excitation current, and the phase differential. We can choose to test again, or click Next, enter in our information, and either print or save memory. I'm going to choose to print. Perfect. As you can see here, the results printed. Once you're done, you can choose to save, and you're all done. To perform a three-phase test, please select Ratio Test, and then select three-phase. Here you can select the primary, secondary, and vector number. We already have ours set up based on our demonstration transformer. However, just to show you what the menus look like, here you can select the primary connection, the secondary, and the vector number. Perfect. Once that is done, very similar to the single-phase test, you can select primary, secondary, and the test voltage, as well as the tab count. Because we have one tab count, we will not be switching tabs. However, if you had more than one, you can switch it here. Moving on, this is the screen which will indicate to you how to hook up the cables to your transformer accurately to test all three phases. Here you can see it's H1 and H1, H2 and H3, X1 and XN, and X2 and X3, as we have done. Once you are aware and you make sure that the connections between the cables and the transformer are correct, please select Test. If you need to stop at any time, you can select either the power button or tap on the screen. As you can see, we passed the test. Now we'll be changing the cable connections for the U2. As you can see, the connections have changed now, and we will be adjusting the cables on our transformer to show and indicate that change. As you can see here, we have now just switched the cables so that we may perform the second phase of this test. Once you are aware that the cables are correct and connected correctly to the transformer based off the diagram that TURA-01 gives to you, select Test. Perfect. We passed, and now you can see the ratio, the percentage, the current, the phase differential, and now we're going to perform the last phase, and we're going to change the cables one last time to perform this test. Once you're sure that they are correct, click Test. Perfect. And as you can see, we passed all the results. If you would like to test again, you can test each phase individually. Once you are satisfied with your results, please select Next. You can input the information you would like to here and here for the model and serial number. Once you're done, you can either print, save, or do both. It's printing the label. Perfect. And as you can see here, we have each phase listed in the print for how it performed, along with the error, the current, and the ratio. Once you're done, you can save, and that's all it is. That's all to it. Moving onward, if you would like to see the results from a single phase, a three-phase, or a magnetic balance test, please go to Records. Here you can see the single phase test we just performed here. And you can see the information. I didn't enter in the station or the operator, so these are blank. But you can see the test results as they were performed. And you can choose to print the result or delete it. This works for both single phase, three phase, and all tests performed on this device.